Brought to you by Southern Trust Home Services. Give us a call at 540-208-3425. Get into a Southern state of mind. Hey there, meteorologist Jamey Singleton with you here, and it is a Sunday night, getting ready for the upcoming work week, and we are looking at active weather potentially moving in for Tuesday. Now, I don't know if it's going to be something that you're going to see a lot of impact from as much as you're just going to maybe see something out the window and say, hey, that's pretty neat. Here it is, early April. But this is no April Fool's joke. There's the potential for at least some wet snow to fall across some communities as early as Tuesday morning. If you notice the wind outside today, it was gusty out of the northwest over 30 to 35 miles per hour. Colder temperatures moving in, and that means if you've done any early planting out there in the potted plants and whatnot, you're going to have to bring those in overnight tonight. And again, tomorrow night, Monday night and early Tuesday, if you want to save those plants, even though officially the growing season hasn't started, just outside of our area, there are freeze warnings in effect because temperatures are going to be dropping into the upper 20s to lower 30s across the region. But this is the front. It's now east of the area, extends down into the Gulf of Mexico. And I tell you what, if this was December or January, all of the forecasting you would be seeing on social media and on television would be blowing up about the potential for a big winter storm. That said, it's going to be April 1st tomorrow, April Fool's Day, and we've got that strong sun angle that's going to be counteracting what's going to try to be a little bit of a snow for the South, believe it or not. And I say the South because I do think that maybe South Carolina, North Carolina could see flakes fall. All right, there's a difference between me calling for heavy wet snow and then potential accumulations from that. But I do think that heavy wet snow could fall across the Carolinas and maybe even for our part of Virginia as we go into the day on Tuesday. It's going to depend on timing, and it's going to depend on exact tracks. And again, we're riding a very fine line here, but this is the energy that's coming out of Colorado right now and the New Mexico and the Oklahoma Panhandle. This is going to spiral in, and it's going to join forces with what you're seeing right now, which is just some rain across the Gulf Coast. And you can actually already see where this storm's going to move. If you follow the cloud pattern there right across the south, and it pretty much should move up the Carolina coast. After that, it becomes a question on does it go out to sea or does it move to the north and give the New England states more of a nor'easter. It's going to probably at least give us some clouds, if not some precipitation, though, into early on Tuesday. So those are the ingredients that are shaping up for this interesting weather that I've been watching here. And again, there's a big difference in it sticking and it falling. But this is the NAM 3 kilometer. This is the highest resolution NAM that's out there. And this morning's run and this afternoon's run both look very similar. And I'm going to show you this afternoon's run. This is showing us here early Tuesday morning about 5 a.m. It's showing snow embedded with some rain here. So probably some rain with some wet snowflakes, even as far south as Anderson, South Carolina. That's in the upstate, Greenville, Spartanburg. Even the northern mountains of Georgia have some snow shower activity in there. This is if you believe this model verbatim. And I'm going to show you the model I'm leaning towards here in a second. But a lot of them do have some snow on the northwest part of the system here as this storm winds up along the coast early Tuesday morning. Now, the timing is everything, and that's why I think maybe the Carolina area, the upstate from Charlotte, and I don't think it's going to stick in Charlotte, but I think it may fall in Charlotte by sunrise Tuesday morning. It could be snowing from Charlotte up and down the I-85 corridor here coming out of the upstate of South Carolina because the sun hadn't come up yet, and that moisture sets in. It allows that column to be cold enough for the snow. Notice all the reds here off the coast as well. Those are thunderstorms that'll be spiraling. You can see the low there just really cranking up here by Tuesday afternoon. And the model is showing for our area, Martinsville up to Rocky Mount, some snow falling here. Falling, again, probably not sticking. It's April 2nd on Tuesday, but between 2 and 3 in the afternoon, and maybe continuing into the late afternoon hours right through central Virginia. Now, if the track's a little bit farther north and west, we could paint that into the NRV. And if we get the mountains to get some of this, we could be talking about maybe some accumulations there. But the fact that the northwest deformation zone where this is winding up is going to be primarily across the Piedmont areas the way it looks right now, and the western Piedmont of North Carolina, I'm doubtful on any accumulation. And again, the model there changes it over by late Tuesday evening into just rain, but a very interesting storm. A lot of the longer range models had this farther east, but the shorter range models have been coming in close to the coast, at least for the Carolinas into the Virginia area. So if you were to believe some of these numbers here, you know, you're looking at an early April event, a borderline event at that. But some of these models here just showing you basically from the upstate right through the western Piedmont of North Carolina for the potential of a slushy inch or two, and that's the NAM. But again, that's going to be something that we're going to have to just watch very carefully, because it's going to be very borderline. I just don't want anybody to be surprised by this and say, hey, I thought it was April. I thought, you know, we jumped right into spring. Not the case. A lot of times in early April, we'll get these borderline snow rain events. So we can get snow showers, keep in mind, into mid to late April in the mountains. That happens just about every year, actually. So it's not that uncommon, but this is going to be a slippery, not technically slippery, but just a sneaky is a word I'm going to use there, situation coming up for early Tuesday. This is a different model. This is the higher resolution Canadian model. Does a pretty good job with these wintry type systems, but you can see a very similar looking setup here. As we look at Tuesday morning, it's the northwest flank of the system here. There's the low cranking up there along the Carolina coast, and for sure this is going to be a heck of a storm up and down the Outer Banks from Charleston, South Carolina, all the way up to Cape Hatteras here. A lot of wind and overwash there from the surf, but watching the potential maybe for some snow to sneak in. Now, for us to get snow in Martinsville or Franklin County, and again, it's primarily east of the mountains, we would have to see this moisture move in fairly quickly before the sun can get very high in the sky on Tuesday. Now, that's right now, timing-wise, you've got most of the snow falling, again, not sticking, but falling in North Carolina, northwest Piedmont of North Carolina, from, say, Asheboro north and west into the overall Charlotte area, and then you get into Winston-Salem and Reedsville, Mount area, places like that. This is going to be a situation that will bear watching, especially in the early morning hours of Tuesday. And then if it can move into Virginia early enough, we could maybe see some of this moisture. It's right now showing up as rain, maybe falling as snow, if we can get the column established as snow before the sun comes out and does its thing, because it's going to get through the clouds, the solar radiation will, and that'll warm temperatures up enough for just the cold rain for most areas. And it should be noted that there's no advisories out for this system or anything like that, but this is just something that I continue to watch for you. This is the higher resolution GFS model, which again, if I pause it right there, that's about 10 a.m. on Tuesday. This is the only view I can give you here on this, but showing you very similar from Charlotte to Greensboro, Winston-Salem, some snow falling. So if you're around Martinsville and South Boston and even Danville, don't be surprised if you see some flakes coming down, even in Franklin County. Don't know if they'll make it up to Roanoke or the NRV or not, and I'm not even sure if it'll stick or not. I'm probably not, but maybe falling from the sky into Tuesday. And I'm just going to give you one more model here. This is the Icon model. And again, the agreement is there between the models. There's no disagreement here. They're all showing just cold enough air for some brief, heavy, wet snow, a little plop of snow here, maybe for a conversation starter for our North Carolina friends and South Carolina friends there from the upstate up through up I-85. But again, probably minimal impact from this, if at all, just because it's early April. It would have to pour down snow just prior to the sun coming up for it to stick. It wouldn't be out of the question. But again, just don't be surprised if the system tries to pull one on you, because that can happen in early April. But you can see that powerful low as it goes up the coast later Tuesday into Wednesday. So high pressure builds in for us behind it, but it's going to bomb out here in the middle of the ocean there, it looks like, as it passes our area. Interestingly enough, the Euro from this afternoon did show a little bit of snow in the Martinsville right at sunrise. So again, if you're a snow lover, you want this to go ahead and again get established before the sun comes out and changes everything over to rain, as this model shows here. And you can see the placement is east of the Blue Ridge Parkway, primarily in the eastern Virginia and North Carolina. But again, it could be a very fine-tuning of a forecast here over the next 24 hours or so. These are the ensemble members off the Euro, and they're very close. Each little low is a model run. They're very close to the coast, very close to Wilmington and Myrtle Beach, just offshore. That's Tuesday early afternoon. Then as we go into Wednesday, it moves farther offshore, but while it's near us, it's pretty much closer to the coast. So it's going to be close enough, I think, for some precip east of the mountains. And then it bombs out here over the open waters there. East of the bigger cities, according to the ensembles there. So let's look at the jet stream here. We'll watch Tuesday for you very carefully. Tuesday morning, I'll keep updating you throughout the day on Monday. This is our system here in blue. Behind that system, whatever falls, again, whether it's rain or some wet snowflakes, big old clumpy wet snowflakes, we'll get that out of here for Wednesday into Thursday. And this is a ridge of high pressure. It means it's going to warm up Wednesday and Thursday. Notice this little white area here. That's a dip in the jet stream. You can see the dip right there. That gets going for us on Friday. More than likely, it's going to bring us just a soaking rain, which we need. We've had, there was a big brush fire on one of the islands at Smith Mountain Lake over the weekend. And we had another big brush fire in Callaway in Franklin County earlier today on Sunday. You could actually see the smoke from the TV station here in the western part of the county. So brush fires before 4 o'clock, you can't burn across Virginia. You have to wait till after 4. And so it's a situation in spring where you get these warmer temperatures and the sun's out, you get any kind of a breeze and humidity's low, and you can get something to blaze up just like that, regardless of how wet it was last year and early part of this year. It gets dry in a quick hurry. So we'll take the rain on Friday. I know it's not good timing for the weekend. Behind that, if you look at the jet stream, it warms up aloft Saturday and the Sunday. The only caveat would be an easterly surface wind, which could keep a few more clouds in here for Saturday and Sunday in between some breaks of sunshine. So this is what I'm going with right now. And I'm going to be starting a service very soon that will have a 7-day forecast for each area. And that's going to be something that I know you're going to be interested in. But this is brought to you by Southern Trust Home Services, 208-3425. Monday, tomorrow, 50. It's going to be a chilly day. It'll start out sunny and cold. Temperatures probably upper 20s to around 30, then increasing wispy clouds for the afternoon. Tuesday, again, depending on how fast the moisture arrives, especially Roanoke and east, especially for south side, I think, we could see the rain or snow. And right now, I don't think any accumulation, even if we do see some snow, but it could be falling, and it could get your attention for Tuesday. 42, but temperatures in the NRV could be warmer if you get outside of that precip shield. Wednesday and Thursday, we're back into the 60s, lower 70s Thursday. Another rain coming up for Friday. This one would be more significant, I think. Maybe a embedded rumble of thunder in there as well, but temperatures much cooler, 50 degrees for Friday, a 70% chance of rain. Then for Saturday and Sunday, I'm going partly sunny. I'm reluctant to move us back into the 70s on the weekend because I do think we'll have an east wind as opposed to a southwest wind. I think that's going to temper temperatures for highs back into the mid 60s. Overnight lows will be in the lower 50s, so they'll be mild. And I'm just got a silent 20 in there, what we forecasters call a silent 20 in case we get a little more clouds and a sprinkle or two for the weekend. But it doesn't look like a washout or anything like that. It just may not be quite as warm as some of the models are suggesting based on the upper level jet stream. So watch Tuesday carefully. I'll continue to watch it for you here. And that's your update for right now. More updates to come. brought to you by Southern Trust Home Services. Give us a call at 540-208-3425. Get into a Southern state of mind.